All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we are going to start with notes and then we're going to transition. Keep in mind, next week, let's take a look at our schedule. I've been warning you for quite some time, ladies and gentlemen, that this pace is going to quicken because it has to. You got to get moving. Here we go. So, Friday is in parentheses. I'm not going to get to AOC. I can tell you that right now, but we are doing Marbury versus Madison. Monday, you have vocab 1 through 10, Tuesday 11 through 20, Wednesday 21 through 30, and Thursday you have a test. Welcome to a normal week. This is how it'll be set up for the rest of your APGov and comparative life. Questions about what is expected. Now, I am not giving you more homework. More homework is not the solution to our test problem. More tests, okay? All you need to do is come ask better engaged questions and we will be better prepared for the next test because you understand the expectations are higher. That's how it works. Now, 25 questions, all your Supreme Court stuff and all that stuff is due on Thursday. Any questions about what's expected? Now this is your first real weekend of APGov. I'm not telling you what to do with your time because I don't know your schedule and everyone's schedule is different. But I would work on your APGov because once you finish the assignments are done. That's it. As soon as you finish them, you're done. You wait till Wednesday night to do them, your life is going to be more miserable than it has to be. Also, by getting your work done over the weekends, when I start really teaching Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, you can have a better conversation with me instead of trying to all learn at the last minute, yes? Okay, so that's also part of the goal. Okay, here we go. Start a new page, please. At the top, write week 3. Because when we go back into review at the end, we need to be able to find our information quickly. So we're in a new week, so we label it because our scope and sequence tells us what week we need to find information. We are in federalism, so I would write down federalism. Okay, now, today we are going to do our first Supreme Court case. Why am I waiting till week 3 to do my first Supreme Court case? Think about it logically. Everything makes sense. Why? Come on. You want to know why you didn't do well on the test is because you weren't thinking with me and you waited for me to pour the information into you. So by being more interactive, you're going to do better. Why? What do you got for me, Lily? No, there's 15 Supreme Court cases. Why are we waiting till week 3? Matthew? Why do we have to wait till after the Constitution, Matthew? Because it sets up the Supreme Court. Ladies and gentlemen, we didn't get a Supreme Court until last week, yes? We can't have a Supreme Court case unless we have a... There you go. So we're in federalism. Our first Supreme Court case is going to be Marbury versus Madison. Just because it's up there doesn't mean you write it down. No. Marbury versus Madison, you are writing down because it is your first Supreme Court case. Okay. Just like, write it nice and big because there's only 15 of them, just like we do with our primaries. They're a big deal. Our first Supreme Court case is Marbury versus Madison. Write it nice and big. You also need to know it's the first major case. So, just like what we do with our primaries, we talk about the primaries before we actually sit down and look at them. Same thing that we're doing here with our Supreme Court cases. Marbury versus Madison is the first major Supreme Court system. It is dealing with Jefferson's arrival to the office. Now, this is the historic part. Why is Jefferson's election to office a big deal? If you saw Hamilton, you should know. All right, let's start the basics. Who is our first president, Emily? First president, Washington. Washington serves for 8 years, which is why we have this basic foundation of 8 years is the most the president can serve, yeah? Because that's how Washington did it. Okay, who is president number 2, Steffi? What do you got, Aiden? John Adams. Jefferson, nope. Adams and Washington are the same political party. Same political party. They voted for Adams, but it was kind of like Adams is our next president. Like, this is what's happening. So what do you think the difference is between Adams and Jefferson? Put it together. What's the difference, Andreas? Yes, this is the first contentious change. Write this down. It is the first time we have a loser and a winner. So, John Adams went for re-election, and he... So, if you lose something so publicly, are you happy or probably bitter? Yes, absolutely. And then we have a winner in Jefferson. Jefferson wins the White House, and he is probably floating, maybe? I mean, Thomas Jefferson screams to me arrogant, right? Okay, come on. Now, have you seen Monticello? Have you been to Monticello? Oh, it's really beautiful. You should check it out. Okay, so Adams is bitter he lost. Jefferson is gloating he's won. Okay? Two rival political parties. We have a new political party in place. It's a big deal because it's the first time. This is the first check of whether this system was going to work. When you have two consecutive parties, it's kind of like, well, of course they're friendly. When you have the opposite, the White House flips, how is this going to work? So it's a big deal. Okay. You need to know that this court case is about the appointing of judges. The appointing of judges by Adams that won't be implemented till Jefferson. So let's unpack that. Okay? So Jefferson knows Adams knows he's losing. Okay? So he's like, I'm going to screw him over because he's bitter and resentful. He's embarrassed. He's got an ego. Okay? So Adams like, I'm going to screw him over. I'm going to appoint a bunch of judges. So these judges, are they going to be of Adams' political party or Jefferson's? Adams, because he's going to appoint people that, same thing today, right? Democrats put Democrats in power, Republicans put Republicans in power. Okay, so Adams is going to screw with Jefferson. Adams puts a bunch of judges into place. It's rushed. He doesn't fulfill the requirements. So he was hoping Jefferson would just do it because he started it. Now Jefferson gets into office, and how does he feel about Adams trying to stuff these judges onto the bench? No. Who would be thrilled about that? The guy you just beat trying to do shady shit? You'd be like, hell no. So Jefferson comes in and says no. This is where the Supreme Court comes in. Okay? Adams is trying to do some shady shit. Jefferson's like, hell no, I won. I get to appoint my judges. Then it gets called to the Supreme Court, and that is where we stand. Okay, so now, when we talk about Marbury versus Madison, okay, put a big star. At the end of the day, there is one major term you have to know. It's what our Supreme Court does. And what is that? What is that, Kate? Judicial review. Marbury versus Madison is all about judicial review. And what is judicial review, Lucy?
It's like when the Supreme Court came with other decisions done by other branches.
And say what?
And would say no.
Yeah. Yes, it is no, but what do they say? It's on... There you go. Do you see how unconstitutional is a little bit better than a no? Okay, so judicial review means someone, the legislative branch can, the judicial branch can say the legislative branch is being unconstitutional. It's a big deal. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, take out your Marbury versus Madison. Let's go. Okay, every time you get a Supreme Court case, it'll always look the same because I think there's something beautiful in consistency. This is how I do everything I do. Okay, so Marbury versus Madison. Here we go. Okay, we are going to talk and make notations as we go. It's really not that much writing, I promise. But you have to think with me, please. So the petitioner is William Marbury. The respondent is James Madison. You know that name because he's the major creator of what, Ethan? He's the major creator of the Constitution, and he's the one going up against him. Okay, now keep in mind, this is the first time the document has been tested in the Supreme Court. This is the first major decision the Supreme Court's making. So does Madison need this to work? Yes, everything hinges on it. Its location at the White House, 1803. Here we go. Thomas Jefferson defeated Adams in the 1800 presidential election. Before Jefferson took office, on March 4th, 1801, Adams and Congress passed the Judiciary Act, okay, which created new courts, added judges, and gave the president more control over the appointment of judges. Now, someone asked me this question: why did we need in 1801 more judges, new courts? Why did we need these? Come on, think about it logically, Pierce. Why? 1801, is our country well formed or forming? Forming, so we're expanding territory, we have larger population shifts, so we need more judges. Okay, and it gave the president more control over appointed judges. The act was essentially an attempt by Adams and his party to frustrate his successor, as he used the act to appoint 16 new circuit judges, 42 new justices of the peace. The appointees were approved by the Senate, but they would not be valid until their commissions were delivered by the Secretary of State. What's a commission, Anna?
Money.
Yes, until they got paid, which had to be done by the Secretary of State. So they weren't officially in their position until their commissions were paid. William Marbury had been appointed. Can you grab the door for me, Lily, please? Justice of the Peace in the District of Columbia, but his commission was not delivered. Marbury petitioned the Supreme Court to compel the new Secretary of State, James Madison, to deliver the documents. Marbury, joined by 3 other similarly situated appointees, petitioned for a writ of mandamus compelling the delivery of the commissions. Okay, so the new Secretary of State said what? No payment. So this is a founding problem of they want to get paid and they don't want to get paid. Yes? So when you're thinking of this Supreme Court case, there are 3 major focuses. The first one's, do the plaintiffs have the right to receive their commissions? Okay? Now, we are not in law school. That is not what we do. That is not what we are here for. So we're not going to address that. But those are the big questions if you do decide. Can they sue for something in court? Okay. Probably going to come here at the beginning of this period, not the middle of the period. Okay, so can they sue for their commissions in court? Can they sue for it? And does the Supreme Court have the authority to deliver their commissions? These are the major questions. And you can see, does the Supreme Court have this power? Remember, this is the first big court case. Here we go. So the conclusion of it. The court found that Madison's refusal to deliver the commissions was illegal. Okay, so Jefferson, what? Does he win or lose? Jefferson loses. Okay, but did not order Madison to hand over Marbury's commission via right of mandamus. Instead, so Jefferson's administration is wrong. Okay, so it sounds like John Adams is right, but hold on. Instead, the court held that the provision of the Judiciary Act of 1789, enabling Marbury to bring his claim to the Supreme Court, was itself unconstitutional. Essentially, Adams was wrong. Adams is wrong to do it. Jefferson was wrong to hold it, but who was wrong first? Adams. So, Adams was wrong from the start. That is what becomes unconstitutional. That is the key phrase in this document. Since it purported to extend the court's original jurisdiction beyond what Article 3, Section 2 established. So, Marshall, by the way, William Marshall is going to be one of the most important Supreme Court we've ever had. He's like a big deal. He's going to be in our next Supreme Court case. He's in like 5 of the original founding ones, so just keep in mind you're going to keep saying the same. Yes. Sure.
But like, if Madison was responding, how did he have to do it?
He's the new Secretary of State who is responsible for paying those commissions.
Oh, okay.
So because he's the new administration, he was supposed to pay them off. And he was like, no, I'm not paying them because this is literally a game. I'm not playing it. And so they got brought. Lilith.
Was Secretary of State appointed by Jefferson?
Yeah, Secretary of State is always appointed by the president. Yeah, Jefferson and Madison are best friends. Oh my God, thank you so much. Put it right there. Oh my God, best. Yay, thank you. Jefferson and Madison are best friends. Okay, so that's why he got appointed it. Marshall expanded what a writ of mandamus was the proper way to seek a remedy, but concluded that the court was not issue it. Marshall reasoned that the Judiciary Act of 1789 conflicted with the Constitution. Congress did not have the power to modify the Constitution through regular legislation because Supremacy Clause places the Constitution before laws. If you want to change the Constitution, you have to amend it, not create a law. That's what makes it unconstitutional. So in holding, Marshall established the principle of judicial review. So the 3 words you have to know about Marbury and Madison is unconstitutional, judicial review. Those are the 2 big things that come out of it. You need to understand the context of it's Jefferson versus Adams. It's pettiness between the first transition of power, but those are the big ones. Every single time we do a Supreme Court case, it'll be the same 3 questions because we have to pull it through. What is the impact of this case on the United States? What's the impact, Ethan? Okay, absolutely. 1, it shows the Constitution works. Absolutely, for sure. But there's a second part of it. What's the second major part? What do you got, Adam? No, because that doesn't. Do you literally care about judicial review? Adam, do you wake up every day and be like, oh, judicial review, yeah. No. Okay, we do care that the Constitution works, right? Yeah, aren't you grateful the whole world hasn't burned down every time you open your eyes when you wake up? Hell yeah. Okay, what else? We also care that who was proven wrong here? Adams, who was the president of the United States. So, why do we care? It shows the government is held accountable. Don't we care about that? That they can't just pass anything they want if it voids the Constitution? Isn't that a big deal? They can't just pass any law they want because they can? No. It's a big deal. They're held accountable. What constitutional principle is demonstrated here, Parker? Judicial review. And what is judicial review, Parker?
It's where. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
I know.
We put little pretty things around it. Laws can be called
Unconstitutional.
There you go. Perfect. Okay, so laws can be called unconstitutional. That is a huge deal. Okay, it goes against the Constitution. People are held accountable. Okay, it kind of goes on the back. I like to keep them one-sided, but sometimes they do. In this case, I was just an idiot, so here we are. Why is it important? Why is this important? Why do we care about it? Why is this a big deal? It shows us what, ladies and gentlemen? What do you got for me, Kate? Yes! Oh my God, Kate, I'm so happy. Thank you. It took me forever. Checks and balances. Does this show us that it works or it doesn't? There you go. Checks and balances are working. That's why this is such a big deal. Yes. Okay. It is a check on what branch? Legislative. It is a balance on what branch? Judicial. Now, it is important for you to know this will be expanded. Put a star. will be expanded to executive acts as well. Why will it be expanded? Why is this word being chosen? Think about it logically. Why is it saying will be expanded to executive acts? Think about it. We're in 1801, Lily.
This is the first one to do it, so the next, like, more of them will.
Yes, because how many executive acts have been issued by 1801? None. It's a really popular modern trend. It's not very common back then. It will grow to include them, but it doesn't include it explicitly here because no one was doing them. Is everyone clear on that? But it will go. Perfect! You are done. You could submit this on Canvas if you wanted to. Not right now because we're moving, but you can. It is due on Thursday. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a total of 15 of these. This is your first. How was it? Good. It's not supposed to be hard, right? But it's the extrapolation of the information. Take out your notebook. I'm moving. Let's do it. Okay, how about we do another one? Do you want to do our second one? We're on a hot streak. Let's do it. Here we go. So, our first court case is Marbury versus Madison, which is all about Judicial. Our second is Mccallick versus Maryland. Do not submit this now. We're doing it later. Put it back. Was it helpful?
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay, so on your notebook, that is where we are. You can submit this later. Merriweather.
I put it away.
Okay, in a big heading, right? Mccallick versus Maryland. Okay, this happens to be the second biggest Supreme Court. This is the second time the Supreme Court really gets pulled in. No, it's not actually. But I like where you're going. Okay, so you need to know it's the second major Supreme Court case. Okay, you need to know that it is about Supremacy Clause. You need to know that. Now, when you hear big terms like that, like Supremacy Clause, do you think you should underline it and circle it? Hello? Yes, doesn't that seem like important information? And this is a new term that you don't know yet. This is what we're really focusing on this week, is enumerated powers. That word is right there for you.
What exactly is this?
Oh, well, I'm just about to clarify it for you. Who can tell me what supremacy is? What does supremacy mean? I'm talking flat. I'm not talking about government. I'm talking flat. What does supremacy mean? Come on now. You are only going to get better if you interact with me. That is the only way you're going to get better. Come on, I got the same hands. Aiden. Yes, they are the peak. Whatever they decide, it stands. I have supremacy over all of you. If I want to increase your homework, what can I do? Increase your homework. If I really wanted to make your life miserable, could I do it? Yes, I could. But I wouldn't because that's not the power I seek. Okay? So, supremacy means they make a decision, everyone has to abide by it. Enumerated. Woo! New vocab. What does enumerated mean? What do you got, Lucas?
Listed in the Constitution.
Okay. Enumerated. Okay? Enumerated is referring to both listed and non-listed laws. Okay? When we talk about enumerated rights, write this down. This is a big deal. This is why we're studying this one. It's about laws that are listed and laws that are not. In the Constitution, my poor puppy is terrified. He hates thunder. In the Constitution, did the word bank come up? That is what this is about. Here we go. It's about what is enumerated, what is said, and what is not. You need to know that Mccallick versus Maryland is about the U.S. government creating a bank and waging taxes. What's that? Oh, you're good. Don't say that. Do you?
Okay, I just didn't want you to expect me
Girl,
to
I've got my own problems.
Okay.
You do you.
Thank you.
Whether the United States had the right to create a bank and what states' rights had over it. Okay, so this whole thing is about a bank. Let's do it. Okay, so take out your Mccallick versus Maryland. Take it out. You collected it the other day. It looks identical except for a different title. Funny how that works.
That looks like they can get to AOC.
Yeah, no. No, because AOC is going to take a little bit longer than the time I have, but I can teach this quick and it will be a good foundation for the rest of the week. That's the thing. Like with APGov, I'm trying to figure out what I need to do. You know what I mean? It's a little bit more varied than AP World. That shit I got locked.
There's an extra one.
In that hanging file, look in the hanging files between 1 and 2 and 3. Here we go. So, Mccallick versus Maryland. This is your second major one. Last one was in 1801. This is in 1816, so we're seeing a progression of time. Okay, petitioner is Mccallick. The respondent is Maryland. It's literally the state of Maryland. Keep in mind, the major goal of the Supreme Court was to settle what? States' disputes, yes? So this is the first major one that we're dealing with here. It's not a state's dispute, but the first one dealing with the whole state. Okay, here we go. In 1816, Congress chartered the Second Bank of the United States. Fun fact, who's the dude behind it? Just a fun fact. Anna. It is Hamilton. There was a first bank. How did that do if there's a second? No, it goes completely under, and A-Push has spent a long time talking about it. So the first bank goes under, the second bank is chartered by Hamilton, and it is successful. We're still in it. It's functioning today. In 1816, Congress chartered the Second Bank of the United States. See ya. Work on your focus, please. You have things to do. The more you talk to me and ask questions, the better your life will be. And it frankly makes it more enjoyable for everyone. Yay! Bye, sweetie. Nick, have a great weekend. Thank you.